Now we will discuss about various loop statements. In looping, a sequence of statements are executed until some conditions for termination of the loop are satisfied. A program loop consists of two segments. One is the body of the loop and the other is the control statement. For example, if we have a set of statements like statement 1, 2, statement 3. So this much statements have to be executed say 3 times. So like when I less than 3, okay, initially I will be 0 and maybe I will be increasing each time, but till this condition. So this is called a condition. Okay, this is a condition. So when this condition is satisfied, this much statements has to be executed again and again. Till now we were discussing programs where one statement is executed only once. But now we need a set of statements to be executed more than one time. So this part is called loop. Okay, so it has two parts. One is the body of the loop. That is a set of statements that are to be executed more than one number of times. And second part is the control statement, that is the condition, because the condition is to be checked, and when the condition is true, it has to be executed again and again. So it has two parts. So program loop. So now you know what is loop. Looping is a sequence of statements to be executed more than one time. Okay, and there needs to be a condition and to be verified. So program loop consists of body of the loop, that is a set of statements that are to be executed more than one time, and control statement is the condition that is to be verified before proceeding to the loop. So loop has two parts. Then control statement tests certain conditions and directs the repeated execution of the statement contained in the body. Now there are two types of loop. One is entry controlled and second is exit controlled. So two types, you have to remember the name, entry controlled and exit controlled. So from the name itself we know that one is controlled at the entry, second is controlled at the exit. So control condition, so you know that certain conditions have to be given in the before or after the loop. So only when that condition is satisfied, loop is executed. So in entry controlled, at first the condition will be verified before starting the loop. Okay, before start of the loop execution, condition is checked. If the condition is not satisfied, body of the loop will not be executed. Just the opposite in case of exit control loop. What happens in exit control loop? The test is performed only at the end of the loop. So one is control conditions are tested at the start of the loop. In exit control, it is tested at the end of the loop. So what happens? At the entry, there is no verification in case of exit control loop, and because of that, in exit control loop, the body is executed unconditionally for the first time. Okay, so minimum one execution happens. Okay, minimum one execution happens in case of exit control loop. Why? Because condition is not verified at the entrance. So for one time loop is executed and then it will check the condition. So that is the main difference between entry controlled loop and exit controlled loop. Okay. They are also called pre-test and post-test loops respectively. Now this is more clear with this flow chart. Now you can see that this is the condition. So we are already familiar with flow chart. So here it is a condition to be checked, and if it is true, it proceeds to body of the loop. Okay. So it will proceed to body of the loop and then it will again check the condition. Again, if it is true, it will again repeat. This loop will continue till the condition becomes false. When it becomes false, what happens? It won't enter the body of the loop and it will come out of the loop. So this is entry control because this testing is done at the entry. Whereas in exit control, at first the loop is executed and then before exit it checks for the condition. So you can check the place of the condition. One is at the entry. entry of the loop. Okay, so condition is verified at the entry of the loop. Here the condition is verified at the exit or end of the loop. So that is the two types of loops. What one is entry controlled loop and the other is exit controlled loop. So it's more clear with this flow chart. Now there is one term called infinite loop. We said that a condition is checked, and as long as the condition is true, the loop will go on executing. Okay, and once the condition is false, it will come out of the loop. So imagine a condition when the test condition will always be true. It will never become false. So then what will happen? It can never come out of the loop. Always it goes on executing, right? It is such loops are called infinite loop. Due to some reason, the control sets up an infinite loop and the body is executed over and over again. Okay, so what will happen? We have no option to end the execution. So in programming, we should be very careful that when we write loops, we should be very careful that condition is written such that infinite loop is not created. Okay. Always there must be a finite number of loop for execution. Then a looping process have four major steps. One is setting and initialization of a condition variable, because we need a finite number of execution. So there must be a variable like a count. For counting the number of loop executions, we need a variable. So that variable is maybe condition variable and we need to initialize it. Then execution of the statements in the loop. We know that there is a body of the loop. Then test for a particular condition. That condition variable is, we have initialized it at first, and the condition variable has to be tested after each loop, before or after each loop, based on entry or exit control loop. It has to be, condition has to be verified at least one time corresponding to one loop. And the last part is incrementing or updating the condition variable. So condition variable, maybe initially it will be a value say 0. After each loop it has to be modified or incremented or updated. Okay, so these are the four steps in a looping process. Initializing the condition variable, then executing the statements in the loop, then testing for a particular condition based on the condition variable, and that determines how many times the loop should be executed. And the fourth step is updating the value of condition variable. The test should be either to determine whether the loop has been repeated specific number of times or determine whether a condition has been met. So for example, if we are asked to perform this 10 times, so that is the first example. The loop has been repeated specific number of. So if that be the case, we should write the program such that the particular loop should execute 10 times. Second case is when a particular condition is met. Say for example, we are trying to find a negative number. So if that be the case, as long as the number is entered, it goes on repeating. When we enter positive numbers, it will go on repeating, and whenever you give a negative number, the loop will come to an end. So that means we cannot predict the number of loops. We are waiting for a negative number. So say even if 100 positive numbers are given, it will remain in the loop. Once you give a negative number, it will come out of the loop. So that is second one example. Determining whether a particular condition has been met. In that case, we cannot predict the number of loops needed. But in the first case, say print first 10 numbers or print first 20 numbers. That means we know how many number of times the loop has to be repeated. So that is repeating specific number of times. That is one case, and second case is when a particular condition has to be met. Now in C, there are three loop statements. One is while, next do while, and third is for statement. All these three loop statements we use in common. Okay, so the differences we can discuss in the next section.